As Barack Obama heads into the second year of his presidency, there's great debate about what he's accomplished so far. Through my column and these weekly videos, I've been analyzing the ups and downs of Obama's first year in the White House. Let's take a look back at the president's 2009, starting with his inaugural address. On that chilly January day, the newly sworn-in president talked of action and unity, echoing the calls for change that propelled him to victory. Just a few weeks later, before a joint session of Congress, Obama was knee-deep in trying to fix the economy. But despite weeks of dismal talk, he used his address to express confidence in a turnaround. From the start, it was evident that President Obama had his own way of doing things. And one of the ways I learned that he likes to take the pulse of everyday Americans is by reading letters from the public each night. As the calendar turned to April, Obama was still enjoying sky-high approval ratings. But in the analysis of what he'd done in his first 100 days in office, questions of how long his popularity could last started creeping in. The next 2 months proved difficult. In May, the media and the public took the administration to task for an ill-conceived photo shoot of Air Force One flying over New York City. Next, it was outrage over the first couple's expensive date night in New York City, largely on the taxpayers' dime. The Obamas went to dinner and a Broadway show, fulfilling what the president said was a promise to his wife. In July, I learned that reading letters from the public wasn't the only way President Obama was trying to break out of the White House bubble. He had hosted a meeting of presidential historians for their feedback. August brought a much-needed break for the First Family as they spent their summer vacation in Martha's Vineyard. But criticism once again surfaced, kind of like the date night controversy, about the choice of such an extravagant spot during a recession. It was back to work in September, following a disappointment for the White House that lawmakers were unable to fashion a health care bill by the end of summer. Thus started a campaign-style blitz to get the issue front and center. Come October, the late-night comedy shows latched on to the slow progress on health care and the surprising win of the Nobel Peace Prize, portraying Obama as a do-nothing president. Fair or not, it was the first outward sign that the president was facing a real public relations problem. By November, the president's job approval numbers dipped below the 50% mark for the first time ever, and the unemployment rate eclipsed 10%. But despite all this, Obama's right-hand man, David Axelrod, told me the country was still rooting for the president. In the final month of the year, President Obama made a big decision on the war in Afghanistan, agreeing to send more U.S. troops, but not as many as the military brass had wanted, and setting a loose timetable for starting to withdraw in July 2011. Now, as we look ahead to a busy 2010 for the president, it appears that a health care bill may be making its final rounds through Congress, and that Obama is trying to jumpstart stalled climate change legislation. But it also looks like next year's midterm elections could be problematic for Obama and the Democrats, as public opinion seems to be swinging towards change once again. For U.S. News & World Report, I'm Ken Walsh.